Oh boy, here we go. So, before I begin, thank you Game Press and Kaz Kirigiri for putting together this lovely little chart of their tier list. And yes, we're going over this tier list again. It's kind of, been tradition for a while, although I've been avoiding it. But a lot of you have been sending me this going, Sage, did you see where Odin ended up? And apparently this is post-refinement Odin, so I'm kind of excited to see it. Is he at the top of the tier list? I'm kind of wondering. So, are you guys ready to dive into the tier list with me and just kind of have some fun? Okay, but before I begin, remember, this is Offensive Arena tier list, so if you are worried about any of that, that would be why. And also, when it comes to tier lists, remember, everything's opinion. Don't, you always have your own opinion too, so make it worthwhile and level up the characters you enjoy. So, let's take a look and see where everything places, and I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna scroll along here just because why not? We're gonna cut in between. Oh, I find it funny Oliver's still down here at the bottom. Poor guy. But then again, I remember him as a character from, Path of Radiance. I'm not really into that. Just not. I haven't played Radiant Dawn yet, so I can't really tell you what my thoughts of him in Radiant Dawn are, but, oh well. One of these days, though, by the way, this is the bottom tier list, Berkut. One of these days, Berkut is going to show up again, he's going to be possessed, and he's going to have his, actual weapon instead of that really dinky Berkut's Lance Plus. And when that day happens, I'm sure everyone will weep. Just actually cry a bit. So, let's scroll a little bit more, shall we? Take a little bit more of a look-see at what we have here. I'm really interested to see who's at the bottom for the Red Tome units, as if I had to guess. Yep, there's Canis. Oh, God. Every time I see that, dagger to my heart, just a dagger. Right in there. It hurts. Then there's Tobin. No surprise. Stall. Oh, my goodness. Well, Hey, Perry's up there. Cool. Ah, God. Ursula's really down that far? My goodness. Well, that's tier 8. And it's... Oh, wow. Okay, I don't agree with where Joshua's placed next to Marissa. At least, I know that this is based on Arena, so therefore merges are taken into account, but I just... Well, okay, one, if Joshua's down here, why is Sias up there? I guess it's my way of saying IS. Come on. Add Joshua to the summoning pool, please. Add some of these other ones, Marissa too, if you can, just to make them a little bit more profitable, because Joshua is such a great free-to-play unit. And I don't agree with Sias being up there in Tier 5 while Joshua's down in Tier 6. He is such a great unit. Like, seriously, he's so useful. You really just make use out of that, guys, really. Wow, Quan's down here all the way? Ouch, that kind of sucks. Exalted Crom's down here, too? What the hell? Oh, look, there's Odin. Odin's at Tier 5, which is a lot better than where he was. I think he was at, Tier 7 or Tier 8 before. Good on you, Odin. Good on you. You did it, boy. You managed to make it to the top of the tier list. Thumbs up. But, I find it strange. I like using Odin a lot more now with his new tome. I actually pair him up with Legendary Lucina, with the repositional abilities that just buff stats, because it works surprisingly well with him. Granted, I don't have the characters that can actually, fill up his whole stat list. I think that requires Bridal Sonicy, but, I work with what I have. I use Sumia's ability as well. Just a really great advantage to that, and I'm really disappointed that Quan's down there, but I guess it makes sense. He's with Oscar, which is probably his closest comparable. I don't know. Oh my goodness. Well, there's a lot of weirdness going on there. They moved all of the flyers down from, Tier 2 to, Tier 3. I mean, Tier 4. Oh, my goodness. That kind of sucks. I mean, Sumia, Shigure, and, of course, Tana are all pretty much comparable, as well as Cordelia. So, I guess that just kind of tells you how much Cordelia has continued to be the most advanced flying unit in a while. She's still in existence. She's still very profitable and still really useful. Wow. Okay, I don't agree with where Sigurd is as well. I think Sigurd could probably be back up a little bit more just because of his BST and his usefulness as being able to just tank everything, but maybe I'm just, being a little bit optimistic there. I don't know what I can really say. But props to Carol Burnett up here. Carl, whatever you want to call him. Because, I've mocked him a bit. I've docked him before because, he shows up and I feel like he he's not the, I felt before he wasn't that great, but now that I look at it, he's actually doing a lot better. And then again, Fear's also up here in Tier 4, which just says a lot about Nameless Blade being such a great refinement and something very useful for not only her, but him especially. Jesus Christ. Oh. Wow, Celica's still Tier 3? I thought she would be... Well, no, she's with Lilina, I guess. I don't know. Lilina and Celica could probably stand to be pushed up a tier just because of the sheer amount of damage that they can put out now. At least I'm talking normal Celica, Tome Celica, and Lilina, of course. They moved Carla and Ira down a tier. Okay, I mean, alright, I'll take that. I don't know what makes Zelgius so special, but I'm gonna guess that most of the tier 1s are probably going to just be armored units at this point, just because of sheer amount of BST, I'm guessing. I don't know. When it comes to points and everything, that's pretty much the end-all be-all, so I'm going to just assume that is. I mean, just look at blue. Look at the blue lances, guys. Look over at the blue lances. You're gonna notice that there's a trend there. We'll talk about that in a second, but Zelgius at the top. I like how Tiki is in her own tier. She's just the Tiki 2 tier, I guess. It's filled with Tikis. Both summer, child, and adult, and not wielding a watermelon. So, I find it funny that the one thing that took knocking Harden down a tier list here was, of course, Hector. That makes sense. Hector is the big bad boy of everything. And, well, I don't really agree. I think Arden could probably be up there as well. It's kind of funny. It's nice to see Nephany has been pushed up a tier list as well, just because of her refinement. Reinhardt, God, Reinhardt's still up here? My goodness. Oh my god, just look at that. Look at this. Armored. Although, props to Ephraim, by the way. He managed to combo breaker Hector, and now there's not just a full-on Hector tier up here. Instead, there's actually Ephraim up here as well. But I don't really agree with OG Hector being up here. I've said this before, but if you're going to put OG Hector up there, I think you could probably be, put, Christmas Lissa or something like that up there, because, she's pretty comparable. OG Hector has aged a little bit, but he's still very useful. It's just that I don't think he's, top tier material in that regard. And then, of course, Grima's up there as well. It's pretty much just all armor emblem, like I thought. In fact, just look at blue and green for not only top tier, but also the next tier below them, and you'll see that, yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's no surprises there. It's all armored. In fact, even the tome units in both of these colors have an armored variety. In Valentine's Lynn and, of course, Halloween Henry. It's good to see Lewin up here at the top. Of course, Grima and... Okay, excuse me. Well, first, good to see Legendary Lucina doing her job. I love her. She does such a great job with her repositional abilities, and she's actually a really competent archer as well, so that's good. But, what is going on with archers over here? Like, is it just because there's no other armored archers or something? I don't really understand it. There's a void there. I don't get it. I think Hinoka and Takumi could probably be pushed up there, because they're actually really useful. And Brydelia and Lynn are starting to show their age a lot more as time goes on. As much as I like them both, they're not really doing too well. Jacob's still extremely strong, just with the right build. And, of course, Veronica's with Maribel. That, I will let that slide a bit. I still think she could probably be up in Tier 1, but, it's just because I'm sure a lot of you can, agree that, they're probably pretty similar, at least with what they have. Stat-wise, it's just that Veronica happens to have a legendary, well, not legendary, but a preferential weapon that's just, yeah, solely hers and only hers. And, oh, I kind of wanted to see where Alencia was, and, well, that pretty much seals the deal. She's down here pretty far. That kind of sucks, and so is Hoshidin's Summer Xander. He shall dance. He shall dance in that tier list, I guess. Eflin is down here, too, which I guess it makes sense. For those who don't know, she's basically Sakura on a horse, at least to me. And, oh, there's Ryoma. There's Brave... Why do I keep thinking it's Brave Lyn? Legendary Lyn. And there's JMK way down here with Leon and Faye. That's about where I would place him if I were to put him anywhere, although I would probably put Faye up at a little bit higher next to, Valentine's Roy. I don't know, it's just what I think. All in all, there's some things I don't agree with, but I'm glad to see Odin's up towards the top. What do you guys think? Do you enjoy this tier list? Do you agree? Do you disagree? What do you all think? I'm gonna go now and just have some fun, but a lot of you were asking me to do this, so there you go. It's all fun and games. But for now, nerds, I'll catch you later. I can't believe Odin's actually not tier, 8. Good for him, and good for Marth, by the way. He's up there with Ira and Carla, which, thumbs up. And Celica, too. Thumbs up for him. Good boy. He's been a good boy. Catch you nerds later.